Why modern culture got it wrong. Men and women need each other. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. I'm going to share something with you for you to really wake up and open up your eyes to what's going on. Why is it that there's so many single women and women who are unsatisfied? And why is it that there are so many men who struggle to settle down and to have a sense of purpose in their life? This is all to do with societal programming. Yes, in the first 7 years of life, a child is formed through their personality in their upbringing. And as adults, we're still being programmed through subliminal messaging that is showing up in our modern culture. Now, if you pay attention to the word culture, the first 4 letters, cult, forms what culture is really about. It is a narrative that is formed by the cult, which is the Cabal and the Illuminati. And in case you don't know what that is or what that means, the Cabal is the infrastructure of the matrix, such as the legal, medical, political, pharmaceutical, health, food system, the education system, the banking system. It's the infrastructure in how we can live in that system. And the Illuminati is the culture, such as Hollywood, music, movies, celebrity podcast, these radical movements, the Me Too movement, which really promotes toxic feminism, because what it does to a woman is to make her to be a man, thinking that she has privileged rights for a false sense of freedom to do whatever she wants. But what it does, it actually destroys her. She's not happy in the end because she still doesn't have a man in her life. And how that destroys men as well. That if women act like men, that they can have sex with whoever they want, men no longer value women and they think they can get whatever women that they want. And so men won't settle because of this toxicity from the feminine movement. We really have to open up our eyes and pay attention to what's really going on. And when we are able to see the truth and the agenda behind the narratives that we're being bombarded with, all of this subliminal messaging through this culture, this modern culture, which is all to do with ego, because that's what the Cabal and the Illuminati is about. They create a narrative that separates humanity from their connection with God, with Source, and to be indoctrinated, ingrained, programmed through the ego. And when we can choose to see the truth with what's really going on behind the false light, this facade, that when we stop worshipping people such as celebrities, our favorite influencer, or politicians, when we stop worshipping them, we can then see them clearly for who they really are. Because we're all equal. We're all human beings in the end, regardless of our job title. We're all human beings in the end. So we need to learn to let go of putting someone on a pedestal because of their achievements or success or their salary, and just see them for who they are. So we understand what's going on with how this is breaking apart family units. Because the thing is, men and women need each other. God, Source, designed them biologically to be together, to create a family, children, babies. And this forms a tribe. And when we have multiple tribes, it creates a community, connection, support, leverage. But this is being destroyed through the modern culture. It's all about serving ego, serving me, worshipping me as a false sense of God. And this is why we see so many families being divorced and so many men and women being single because of this programming. So, for example, with women, the subliminal message that is typically being broadcast through pop music, like the Pussycat Dolls. I don't need a man, to make it happen. One of those songs was quite popular. And you see this in movies, in rom-coms with women, how they struggle to be in a relationship and they're like, "Oh, I don't need a man. I can just be single." And there's titles that you see on rom-coms like single. And it's targeting women to watch it. You see it in TV shows, like Keeping Up the Kardashians. There's always drama with their family. And it's funny how they struggle to have a man in their life. So when we are being programmed with that as women, the messaging is, I don't need a man. That's the messaging. And how does that impact women who do want a man? It divorces women from the idea that they don't need a man, that they can be a man by doing it all, and to have the same rights as a man. And they get treated like a man by men because men don't value them if they act like men. By keeping their options open, by playing the field. So that's how it's being programmed in women. And with men, the way it's being programmed is that they idolize and worship like these rappers and entrepreneurs, and some of these entrepreneurs are quite dark, where they put on this facade that they're God, but if you look behind the facade, they're criminals, what they do. And this influenced men to close their hearts, to just sleep around and not settle with the women. And what it does to a man is that he doesn't have a purpose as to why he needs to be with a woman. And that makes him feel empty. This subliminal programming through modern culture is destroying the psyches of men and women every single day. And, women saying we have rights and we get to be like men, that's women being like men. It's just pain as disguise, being seen as progress. And that is the same for men. I don't need women. I can F them all. And they're just so miserable on the inside. They're just chasing and seeking validation and this high, and it's not sustainable. It doesn't really rebuild their self-worth. It actually diminishes their self-worth by staying stuck in their ego. And so when a woman and a man comes together without these filters and conditioning and programming, and we come back to God, to source, to come back to the true nature of who we really are, and just let go of this silly ego stories that we tell ourselves, and not buy into it, to not buy into these products and this story of we don't need a man, we don't need a woman, because it is given to us biologically to be together as one, to be in a sacred, divine union partnership. Because when a woman and a man finally realize that what they really want is love, and when they act from a place of love, not ego, not agenda, not self-worship, but from love, they find their purpose in life. They create space and presence to see each other through the lens of love and not from ego, where there is the battle of the sexes, that it's you and me. And that has broken men and women apart from one another. It has divorced them from love because of ego and worshipping our egos and looking up to these falsified gods that we see in the system through politicians, that we see in Hollywood through celebrities and influencers and entrepreneurs, that is showing us this is the way to be when it's not. We have lost ourselves along the way, how to be a man and how to be a woman. And so when a man and a woman come together through love and they are both healthy and functional and take ownership of their stuff, there is a beautiful union for them to be together. Because what the function of a man and woman to come together is that the woman is the womb wisdom keeper. A woman is designed obviously to be different to men. You know, I hear so many women complain, men don't get me. Of course they don't, because they don't have a womb like a woman. They're biologically wired to think and operate differently in order for you and him to be together. Because a woman is designed to be intuitive, to be cyclical because of her womb. Her womb goes through different seasons in her cycle each month. And that's what makes a man attracted to a woman. It's because she's not linear like a man. She goes through changes. She goes through her flow, and she makes choices based on what she feels. And that's what makes a man so in awe with a woman. She is a mystical and magical being. And so a man does not have that same level of intuition and flow as a woman, because he is wired and designed to be a hunter, a provider, a protector. And a woman needs that. So when a man isn't able to tap in so deeply like a woman through intuition, this is where the leadership is being co-created together with a man and a woman. A woman has the download, the insights, the vision. She feels it, she sees it. A man is respecting and honoring the woman for her strength in this. And he then works with the woman to create that vision together, to have a future together, to have a family together, whatever that may be, together, a business together, you know, doing something together. Because the woman sees it and she receives it, that's being in her feminine, being in the yin, and the man executes it, takes actions on it, protects it. And that is a man being in his yang, his masculine, and this is where the energy is harmonized and balanced. And this is what creates a beautiful union partnership. The leadership is received by the woman and the man acts on it. So they are equal in this partnership. A woman doesn't need to act like a man to be in a relationship with a man. And a man doesn't need to be like a woman to be in a relationship with a woman. A man just needs to be a man and a woman just needs to be a woman. And together in that partnership, this is where the divine union can really blossom and flourish. And this is what I have learned along the way through my experiences in romantic relationships, and how it has got me to this place where I have manifested my man who is my equal, doing the inner work together, and we speak the same lingo, the same lexicon. We get each other. And regardless of the age disparity, the cultural difference, the different families that we've been brought up, we see each other as equals because of this dynamic that God, Source, has given us for a woman to be a woman and a man to be a man. But we must be balanced as individuals in our healthy masculine and healthy feminine. Because when we're not balanced in these energies, it creates a power dynamic and a relationship struggle. So if you got something out of this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a like, comment below, and share it with your loved ones who need to hear this. If you are ready to dive deeper into this and wanting to let go of the stories and conditionings, to get to the core of who you are, the light that's in your heart, to be happy and responsible in your divine union partnership, or to be in one, you might be interested in attending my conscious relationship workshop and retreat. You can learn more about this by clicking on the link below, and you can book your spot. I also am running my Transforming Trauma workshop and retreat as well, which you can also click on the link below to learn more. And if you're not able to attend live on those dates, which I totally understand, then you might be interested as a woman, if you are a woman watching this, to attend my Autumn Equinox Women's Healing Circle to reclaim your self-worth and break free from the toxic femininity. You will also get 1 month access to the replay if you can't attend live as well. So click on the link if you'd like to learn more or to book your spot. And otherwise, if you're not able to attend things live, I also work with people privately, one-to-one, if you want to focus on clearing these blockages, these woundings, these pains, these stories that aren't serving you in your highest potential for love. You can choose to work with me in a 1-day tailored trauma recovery retreat, just you and me, and we can go through your concerns that you would like to address, and for me to provide you that support in the 1-day experience, and for you to get a breakthrough and to continue the support for 1 month through WhatsApp, phone and text. Otherwise, if you like to work with me extensively, I recommend that you watch my free webinar, Overcome the Impacts of Childhood Trauma in 3 months, and book a free clarity call to see if my 3-month container, Find Yourself and Trust mentorship, is exactly what you need for you to experience massive breakthroughs, realizations, transformations, to really embody the truth of who you are, the light that's in your heart. So my love, what are you waiting for? This is your time to really embody love from within, because love does not need to be worshipped. Love is sacred. It is the essence that brings us together.